Welcome to the Syncopator Familias podcast. I'm Greg Richter, your host, and Laura J. Axelrod is my co-host. Also, my lovely wife. Say hello, Laura. That's not a hello. That's...
Hello.
We're going to talk about that lady in Philadelphia who, the Phillies fan who stole the baseball. Now, I have purposely been keeping myself news ignorant. I've seen it, but I don't know all of the details. What I know is that a home run ball was hit, and a bunch of people scrambled for it, and what I can see in the video, the man who got it just got those things. If you've never been to a baseball game and gotten a foul ball or a home run ball, they bounce funny, and who you think is going to get it isn't necessarily the way it works out. But the way it worked out was that he got it fair and square, takes it, gives it to his son, who looks like, I don't know, how old, 10, 12 years old or something?
I thought he was like 6.
Oh, is he 6? Well, he's even younger. Well, however old he was, the kid, he gave it to his son, which that's what a good parent should do. You know, go get the ball, give it to your kid. Didn't steal it from anybody. Got it fair and square, and then later this lady comes over and demands the ball, so he just kind of looks at her like, "What's wrong with you?" Takes the ball from his son, gives it to the lady, and she walks away, and he's just like, what the heck is going on here? So, anyway, and then later on, of course, we see the Phillies staff, one of their staff members brings the kid a bunch of stuff and a bunch of goodies to make up for the situation, and then after the game, the player who hit the home run signed his bat and gave that to the kid. So the kid ended up getting a better reward, and then the woman just looks like she's just like gotten treated horribly and everybody hates her on social media. So
okay, first of all, I have to issue a correction.
All right.
The boy was 10. That's my correction.
All right.
And
I guess pretty correctly then.
And what happened, it looks like, is that the woman claimed that the boy or the father took the ball from her.
He did not.
And then
video evidence shows that did not happen.
And then and then some people say she felt entitled to the ball because it landed near her seat.
Them ain't the rules.
And I mean, she kind of, in this still picture, as I'm looking here from NBC Sports Philadelphia, that she actually grabbed the father by the arm.
I didn't see that.
Which
I
constitutes assault. There it is.
Yeah, he's like, look at him. The kid is like...
They can't see it.
I know, but you can.
Yeah. I mean,
we can put this in the show notes. Send me that link and we'll put that in the show notes.
It's People magazine, but the whole picture, they took it from NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Right.
I mean, she grabbed him by the arm, which constitutes assault.
Yeah.
And that is a problem unto itself.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you kept up with the news, but today they did an interview with that family, and the little boy, who I guess is 10, I guess you can still call him a little boy, said that he was not happy that the ball was given to the woman.
Yeah, well, you could see it on his face, and he looks scared in that picture.
Yeah.
That's the reason I wanted people to,
I'd be scared too.
He looks frightened, and then the father looks a little frightened, and he also looked annoyed, and he just handed the kid. He was under no obligation to do that, especially, I could see if it was just, he got the ball for himself, and he handed it to her. I'm not criticizing the father, in fact.
Oh, go ahead.
In fact, the reason I wanted to bring this up was a parable about how we should behave. I think this is a good parable of how Christians ought to behave, and I think the father did a good job of that.
So two things. One is that she apparently they also have pictures that have come out now of her making obscene gestures to people who booed her afterwards. So that's a thing, like the behavior after that. And then also in this article, they call a 10-year-old a preteen.
Well, technically, I think that's correct because I think the teen
10?
is
10?
13. I
11,
know that's
10.
the decade, but 13 to 19 is a teenager.
13,
Even though
right,
18 and 19 is technically an
right,
adult,
but
but you're still a
preteen?
teenager. But that's not a. He would be a preteen because he's 10. No, my
9,
mom.
as the age range for preteens is typically between 9 and 12 years old. And see, now when I was 9, no one told me that I was a preteen.
Technically, you're a preteen from zygote until 12 years, 365 or 66 days. And
A preteen is a child in the period between childhood and adolescence, generally between the ages of 9 to 12. I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was like 11.
But I knew that. My opinion is that you're in your 20s. You're in your 20s when you're 20 to 29, and your 30s 30 to 39, and so on and so on.
Well, we've gotten off the topic.
My opinion is that, yeah.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, that's another rabbit to chase for another day. But anyway, my point in all of this was simply to say that I see the father as a good parable for the Christian life, because he went and he got the ball, and he got it fair and square. Anybody except the mean lady in the demanded the ball back. Anybody except her is going to say the father got the ball fair and square. And then then he was not, and then he just, like, when he was confronted, he just said, "Here, you can have the ball." My only issue with that would be, like, he'd given the ball to his son, and then he gave it away, and the kid was unhappy that the ball got given back. So.
No, well, the given back implies that she had it to begin with.
Well, yeah, no,
but
that was a misspeak. He gave the ball away to the lady.
But here's the thing, though.
But that's my only fault that I can see. But I think he's trying to protect his son, because I think they both look scared, and they're afraid of what she. I think he was afraid of what she might do if he didn't.
Oh
comply.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
And he's protecting his son. Even then.
Here's the thing, though. Like, does that imply that, as a Christian, that anybody can march right up to you and demand things and you just give it to them?
Well, that's a scripture. That is a scripture. Give to all who ask, expecting nothing in return. Now, that's a hard, might be one of the things they call a hard saying of Jesus, but
Yeah. See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
But like, he also said, like, if your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out and throw it away. It's better to go into heaven with one eye than to. So some of these things, the literalism of them is not.
Here's the thing.
100%, and I think most people would say, no, you don't let that person do that. But one of the reasons you should do it is not because there are scriptures that say you should rather be wronged. If somebody steals your cloak, give them, or somebody demands your tunic, give them your cloak also. Or if somebody forces you to go a mile, go with them a second mile.
That's the thing, though. It's sort of like, at what point do bullies? True,
but you've got to. If it's only yourself you're thinking of, that's one thing. But here's the issue: if somebody murders somebody and the family, you hear of families forgiving the person, and that's a very powerful thing when the family of the person. But if somebody steals something from you or attempts to steal something, would you not call the police? because then they're going to steal something from somebody else. I mean, if this is something...
Isn't like you saying, okay, well, here's the ball. Doesn't that just contribute to aren't you also stealing from yourself?
Yeah, well, in this case, he was stealing from his son.
Well, yeah, that's
he
true.
He got the ball, gave
Yeah.
it to his son. But in this was a case where I think he was protecting. He's got his arms wrapped around his kid. His kid looks scared. He looks scared.
Yeah, he did.
And like this is somebody who could be out of control and hurt his son. He would rather give the ball away and whatever.
That's the thing. I've been wondering if you turning the other cheek actually isn't contributing to the sinfulness of the world.
Well, we know the turning the other cheek comes straight from Jesus, so that's a command of something we're to do. The question is how far do we go, and do we hurt? Like you said, we don't want to contribute to the sinfulness of the world. If it's something where somebody insulted you, and you brush it off because that's a witness to them, because and that's another issue. Is look at this person. This is a person. We don't want to demonize this person who did this because she is a human being. She's a person created in the image of God, who God loves, and why is she the way she is? Probably there's probably something going on in her life or a pattern through her whole life where she feels this was an okay thing to do. This was a good action to take. So she needs, from a Christian perspective, we need to pray for her and encourage her to be a better person. But how you gonna? I don't think a lot of these things where you're seeing memes and making fun of her or just demonizing her, I don't care for that. But at the same time, in the parable, she's the bad person who forced you to go an extra mile, or who struck you on one cheek and you're supposed to turn the other cheek. I think we're supposed to be as wise as serpents and innocent as doves, as the Bible tells us. So we have some sort of, there's not these biblical, even straight from the mouth of Jesus, are not something that we're supposed to just say, well, this is the rule and you just follow that. You're supposed to use your discernment, I think, to
how far you turn the other cheek.
Yeah. At what point you need to allow a person to take advantage of you, and at what point you need to push back for their own sake and for the sake of humanity, because you don't want a thief out there stealing from everybody, and it's your fault because you didn't turn them in when you had the chance. But at the same time, you can just not demand back or something.
Okay, here's the thing. So I was driving one time back to Alabama from South Carolina on my own, and I was in Birmingham, and I was on I-20. We were in a traffic jam, and I was just kind of moseying along, and there were, I guess we were supposed to merge in the lanes, and I was in the lane to be merged in, and a contractor in a white van that had one of those, if you call this number if I drive unsafe. I was just kind of minding my own business. I didn't even see the guy in front of me. I didn't see the guy beside me wanting to merge in. He got really mad and was like making all these gestures to me, to a point where I was afraid. So I apparently he thought I was just, I don't know what he thought.
Like you were being a jerk.
Apparently, I was, but he, it was a traffic jam, so it was slow enough where I actually got afraid. And eventually I let him in, and I had a choice about whether or not to call that number, because he was kind of frightening. I opted not to do it. Now, I had a friend of mine, a close friend, say, well, good for you for not doing that, because you didn't lash out in anger. But then I went to my chiropractor the next day or so and told him what happened, and he's like, well, you should have called, because that man's dangerous on the road and his boss needed to know. So this whole thing with the ball reminds me of that, because it's like, what is the right decision? do you like turn the other cheek and go, well, that guy's having a bad day, or do you call the number and report that guy to his boss, and chances are that guy may be the boss.
Yeah.
The thought did cross my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So in a situation like that, and I've thought about that like periodically, because this happened like maybe a year and a half ago. I think about that periodically.
Yeah.
What's the right thing to do?
Yeah. Well,
From your perspective.
From my perspective, well, I mean, I'm not the Bible answer man, or the Christian answer man.
You're a
Bible gadfly, as you say.
babble guy.
I am a babbler, but what I would say, I wouldn't beat myself. I would, my best friend from high school has a saying: "It's a good decision if you can make it." And you just make the decision, and that came from when he was in college. Dropped a class. He had to just drop a class that he had taken a one or two thing. He had to drop it, and he went in, and the professor, the assistant professor, the teaching assistant, I think it was, said, "Well, it is a good decision if you can make it." So so that's been a saying between us ever since. But the thing is, what we're saying, I don't know what that guy was saying, but our take on that has been like, well, you make a decision and just make the best decision you can, especially if it's a snap thing like that. I mean, you're in traffic, like you call that thing. You might have had a wreck, for all you know, in heavy traffic. You might have had a wreck trying to call that number because you were in the car by yourself. It wasn't like I was in the car with you and I could dial the number and either talk to them or at least dial the phone point. But just, that's just kind of a judgment call. Like the one friend told you, "Good job, you didn't lash out in anger." Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't lash out in anger. If you do report them, it shouldn't be because you're angry. It should be because, like the chiropractor said,
because I noticed
because the person's a danger on the road.
Right. What I notice about this whole baseball thing is, okay, so this thing happened. You make the best decision you do at the moment. You think it's the right decision that a guy made, which is to basically give the ball to the woman since she was a freak toward them.
She was behaving badly.
She was behaving badly. And then, so what happens afterwards? So now he's got to deal with the fallout from his child being disappointed, upset, feeling robbed, and it's the rumination afterwards. So it's not even just the decision, but then the sort of remnants of, did he make the right decision? And is he all right in his mind?
Right. I wouldn't, like, if I would tell him not to beat himself up either way. And here's the thing: everybody, nobody's on the lady's side.
True.
She was very mean about it, and like I said, she's a person who needs. She needs our grace and whatever, but nevertheless, that doesn't say she forgive her behavior. The kid didn't get the home run ball, but you know what? He got a signed bat.
And a picture.
He was
and
not
a swag bag.
In a swag bag, but more importantly, my opinion is the gesture, the fact that he got a signed bat, and if that was the bat he hit the home run with, even better than the ball, because that's the ball. Anybody could say here. Oh, she could now because she could out herself and say, "Here I am. This is who I am, and I got this ball." But nobody's. She's going to have to just want that ball. If she's just wanting it to sell on eBay or something, nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to give her any money. So she's like stuck with the ball, and now that ball is basically a curse to her. Because what is she going to have? The only way if she has any conscience, which we would pray that she would have some, would be to give the ball back. Sometimes people are not nice, and sometimes you don't get what you deserve, and this is not a good thing. But sometimes these things happen, and they're beyond our control, and I didn't want you to, it was more that if I was the dad, I would say it was more important to me that you were safe because I was worried that you weren't going to be safe. And you are more important to me than you having that baseball. And the fact of the matter is, he got a signed bat. If the bat was actually on, the guy never touched, the batter never touched the ball. Yeah, he hit, that's a home run that he hit. He never touched the ball. Now he's got the guy's actual bat.
So
to me, that's a better thing.
Well,
and plus, he has he got to meet the guy. He got the bat. He got the swag.
Yeah.
And so he got a reward. This is like,
I get you.
like you turn the other cheek, and your reward will be something that you didn't see. Our purpose on this earth is to forward God's kingdom and His love and compassion to people. Like that woman needs that one. That woman clearly is a person who needs that. So maybe
some things to think about are what you think you want and what you think you deserve may get stolen from you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something greater.
Yeah, there's something greater.
Yeah. And I think the main takeaway for me is that if something's stolen from you, or if I feel something stolen, then I can't hold on to it because there may be something greater.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't hold on to the resentment of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sound good.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining us this week, and we will see you again next week.
Thanks for joining.